In the icy and perilous waters of the Bering Sea, where temperatures can drop below -20 degrees Celsius and storms are a constant threat, one of the most extreme and fascinating activities in the world takes place. The fishing of the red king crab, also known as the largest crab on the planet, with legs that can span over 1.5 meters and a weight exceeding 12 kilograms. This colossal crustacean is not only a marvel of nature, but also one of the most valuable resources in commercial fishing. Its white, juicy meat, rich in protein and low in fat, is considered a delicacy in luxury markets worldwide, particularly in countries like Japan, South Korea, and the United States. The red king crab hasn't always inhabited these waters. Originally native to the North Pacific, it was introduced into the Bering Sea in the 1960s by Soviet scientists seeking to expand fishing opportunities in their Arctic territories. Since then, its population has not only adapted but thrived, becoming a key species in ecosystems of these cold waters. However, catching them is far from simple. These crustaceans typically inhabit depths of 50 to 300 meters, slowly moving across sandy and muddy seabeds. Their life in these extreme conditions makes them difficult to locate and even harder to catch. For fishermen, red king crab fishing is not just a job. It's a constant battle against the elements. Fishing seasons, which are strictly regulated to protect populations, last only a few weeks each year, forcing vessels to operate at a frantic pace to maximize the limited time available. Each lost day can mean enormous economic losses, as these crabs are among the most lucrative species in the world. On international markets, a single kilogram of king crab can sell for anywhere between $50 and $100, and in some luxury restaurants, a single serving can cost hundreds of dollars. Yet, every crab that reaches a consumer's table tells a story of effort, sacrifice, and danger. Fishermen must contend with giant waves, freezing winds, and the constant risk of accidents while working with massive metal traps called pots, which can weigh over 500 kilograms when full. These traps are dropped to the seafloor with carefully selected bait, such as herring or cod, designed to lure crabs into the trap. After several hours or even days underwater, the pots are hauled back up, revealing the fruits of this arduous labor. Dozens of captured king crabs, ready to be sorted and processed on the ship's deck. Join us on this fascinating journey to the heart of the Bering Sea, where we'll explore every stage of this incredible process, from deploying the pots to sorting the crabs. Discover how fishermen brave one of the most hostile environments on the planet to capture these majestic creatures and bring them to tables around the world. Get ready to dive into the world of fishing for the largest crab on Earth, the king crab. The red king crab thrives in the cold, deep waters of the Bering Sea, a region known for its extreme conditions and rich marine life. These crustaceans prefer sandy or muddy seabeds, where they feed on mollusks, worms, and organic debris. What's fascinating about these ocean giants is their ability to adapt to near-freezing temperatures, living at depths ranging from 30 to 300 meters. At such depths, water pressure is immense, and total darkness forces them to rely more on chemical senses than sight to find food. To catch them, fishermen use enormous metal traps called pots, which are feats of engineering designed specifically for these waters and species. A single pot can measure over 2 meters in diameter and weigh up to 300 kilograms when empty. These traps are baited with fresh or frozen fish, like herring or cod, whose strong smell attracts crabs inside. Interestingly, the pots are designed with specific openings that allow smaller crabs and other marine life to escape, ensuring that only the largest and most mature specimens are caught. The fishing process begins with deploying the pots from the ship's deck. Each trap is connected to a floating buoy via a high-strength cable capable of withstanding both the weight of the trap and the forces of underwater currents. In a single day, a ship can deploy between 100 and 300 pots, covering a vast area of the ocean in search of the best catches. Using GPS and sonar, fishermen mark the exact location of each pot, allowing them to retrieve them even in adverse weather conditions. Once the pots are dropped into the water, they remain on the seafloor for 24 to 48 hours. During this time, the crabs are drawn to the bait and enter the traps. However, not all attempts are successful. Ocean currents can drag the pots away from target zones, and the crab's natural predators, such as octopuses and large fish, sometimes feed on the crabs caught inside before the fishermen can retrieve them. When it comes time to haul up the pots, the work on deck becomes intense. Hydraulic cranes, designed to operate in sub-zero temperatures, lift the traps from the depths, often covered in ice. Each pot can weigh over 500 kilograms when full, and its contents are always uncertain. Sometimes the traps are brimming with king crabs, while other times they hold only a few dozen. This element of unpredictability, combined with extreme conditions, makes each day of fishing a unique challenge. An interesting fact is that king crabs do not stay in one place. As the seasons change, these crustaceans migrate to deeper or warmer waters, following patterns that fishermen have studied for decades. However, changes in ocean currents and global temperatures have disrupted some of these patterns, forcing fishing vessels to explore new areas and adjust their strategies. This connection between the crabs and their environment highlights how fragile and interdependent life in the Arctic truly is. King crab fishing is not only fascinating from a technical standpoint, but also one of the most economically valuable activities. A well-equipped fishing vessel can catch up to 20 tons of crab on a good day, translating into hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. However, the success of this fishery depends on a delicate balance of skill, technology, and adherence to regulations that protect this unique species. The red king crab is not just a marine giant, but also an economic treasure, generating millions of dollars annually in the fishing industry. Each adult specimen can weigh between 4 and 12 kilograms, with the largest ones exceeding 15 kilograms, making them the most valuable crustaceans in the ocean. Their legs, which account for most of their meat, are highly prized for their tender texture and sweet flavor, characteristics that make them an exclusive delicacy in luxury restaurants worldwide. The high demand for this crab comes primarily from countries like Japan, South Korea, China, and the United States, where king crab is considered a symbol of luxury and sophistication. In Asian markets, auctions often see the largest specimens fetch prices exceeding $500 each. In high-end restaurants, a single portion of king crab legs can cost over $100, reflecting its status as one of the world's most coveted foods. King crab is not only valued for its culinary appeal, but also as a key resource for the local economies of the regions where it is fished. In Alaska, for example, king crab fishing generates hundreds of jobs and contributes millions of dollars to the state's economy each season. But this economic value doesn't come without challenges. Strict regulations and quotas set by fishing authorities are essential to ensuring the sustainability of the species. Each vessel has an assigned catch limit, and fishermen must rigorously adhere to these rules to avoid severe penalties. A fascinating fact about king crabs is their ability to regenerate lost limbs. If a crab loses a leg or claw, it can regenerate it over several molting cycles. This regeneration process is not only a biological advantage that helps them survive in hostile environments, but also a reason why regulations require that unfit specimens be returned to the sea alive. This ensures they can continue reproducing and maintaining stable populations. The selection process on board is also crucial for preserving the quality and value of the crabs. Once the pots are hauled up, fishermen quickly sort the specimens, ensuring that only adult males are retained. Females and young crabs are immediately released, following strict conservation standards. Each selected crab is placed in saltwater tanks on board, where they are kept alive until the vessel returns to port. This system ensures that the crabs arrive at market in optimal condition, increasing their commercial value. Despite their high value, king crab fishing remains one of the most dangerous activities in the world. The waters of the Bering Sea are infamous for sudden storms, with waves exceeding 10 meters in height and hurricane-force winds reaching speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour. In these conditions, any mistake can be fatal. The decks of fishing vessels become slippery traps covered in ice, and the heavy metal crab pots, which can weigh up to 500 kilograms, pose a constant hazard if not handled with precision. Fishermen work under immense physical and mental stress. During the fishing season, which typically lasts just a few weeks in the fall and winter, shifts on deck can stretch up to 20 hours a day. In such conditions, extreme exhaustion combined with relentless cold, often dropping below minus 20 degrees Celsius, makes every task a monumental challenge. Yet stopping is not an option. The short seasons mean every hour counts toward filling the holds before the quotas are exhausted. Handling the pots is one of the most dangerous operations on these vessels. Each time a trap is hauled from the depths, it must be carefully positioned on deck to avoid accidents. A single pot can hold up to 50 fully grown king crabs, adding hundreds of kilograms of combined weight. If a pot swings out of control due to waves or winds, it can strike a crew member, causing serious injuries or even dragging them back into the sea. Extreme cold affects not only the people but also the machinery. Hydraulic cranes, winches, and ship engines must be prepared to operate in temperatures that would cause most conventional equipment to fail. If a crucial machine freezes or breaks during a storm, the crew faces the danger of being immobilized in the midst of a raging ocean. For this reason, onboard engineers work constantly to inspect and maintain all equipment in peak condition. Another significant risk is handling the crabs themselves. While they are not aggressive toward humans, their powerful claws can cause severe injuries if handled incorrectly. Additionally, sorting on deck is done rapidly to prevent the crabs from being damaged or dying before they are stored in the saltwater tanks. This means fishermen must handle hundreds of crabs in a short period of time, in conditions where even the smallest mistake can lead to an accident. The dangers don't end once the catches are safely stored in the holds. Navigating the Bering Sea, especially during winter, is a constant challenge. Ships must maneuver through floating ice blocks that can damage the hull and avoid the routes of other vessels competing for the same resources. Moreover, storms not only threaten the safety of the boats, but also the stability of the catches, which must be kept at precise temperatures to preserve their quality. Despite these risks, king crab fishing continues to attract hundreds of fishermen every year. For many, it is more than just a job. It is a tradition and a test of endurance in one of the harshest environments on the planet. Every crab caught represents not just an economic achievement, but also the triumph of human resilience over the most extreme elements nature can offer. Once the pots are hauled aboard, a process requiring precision and speed begins. The sorting of the crabs. Fishermen work at long tables on the ship's deck, carefully selecting specimens suitable for the market. Only adult males that meet a specific minimum size can be retained, while females and juvenile crabs are immediately returned to the ocean. This strict regulation not only protects the sustainability of the species, but also ensures future generations can continue to fish this valuable resource. Each crab that passes the selection process is placed in saltwater tanks on board the ship. These tanks are designed to mimic the crab's natural habitat, keeping them alive and healthy until the vessel returns to port. The water temperature is carefully controlled, as sudden changes could stress the crabs and affect their quality. On larger vessels, known as factory ships, some crabs are processed directly at sea. This includes boiling, freezing, and vacuum packing them to ensure they reach the market in optimal condition. A fascinating fact about the king crab is its surprising strength. While they may appear clumsy out of the water, their claws are incredibly powerful, capable of exerting enough pressure to crack hard shells or even injure fishermen's hands if not handled carefully. For this reason, experienced fishermen use specialized tools and precise techniques to handle them safely. The size of the crabs is a key factor in their commercial value. The largest specimens, with legs that can exceed 1.5 meters in length, are the most sought after on the market, especially in Asia, where they are prized for their impressive appearance and abundant meat. However, these giants represent only a small percentage of the total catch, making them a true prize for fishermen. Another fascinating aspect of the king crab is its ability to survive in extreme conditions. In their natural habitat, they can endure temperature fluctuations, varying oxygen levels, and pressures that would be lethal to other species. However, once captured, they require careful handling to ensure they arrive alive at port or are processed to the quality standards demanded by the market. This attention to detail at every step of the process has earned the king crab industry recognition for its high standards. The sorting process on deck also directly impacts the ship's economy. Every crab that does not meet size or quality standards is discarded, meaning fishermen must maximize the efficiency of each day to ensure the retained catch offsets operational costs. An average fishing vessel in the Bering Sea can process between 5 and 20 tons of king crab per day, depending on weather conditions and the abundance of crabs in the fishing zone. This volume reflects not only the team's success, but also their ability to work in harmony under extreme pressure. From the moment a pot is hauled up to the last crab being stored, every step of the process is designed to ensure quality and sustainability. Fishermen are not just harvesting a resource. They are participating in a tradition that combines respect for nature with human skill and resilience. Every crab that reaches international markets tells a story of effort and dedication that few jobs in the world can match. All this takes place while the vessel faces one of the most unforgiving environments on the planet. The Bering Sea, famous for its extreme conditions, tests not only the fishermen, but also the machines and equipment on board. Every fishing boat operating in these waters is designed to withstand temperatures that can drop to minus 30 degrees Celsius and waves that reach over 10 meters high. Engines, hydraulic systems, and navigation equipment must be kept in perfect working condition to ensure the crew's safety and the operation's success. Ice is one of the biggest challenges for fishing vessels in the Arctic. As seawater splashes onto the deck and equipment, it freezes instantly, forming a layer that can exceed 5 centimeters in thickness within hours. This not only makes surfaces extremely slippery, but also adds significant weight to the ship, potentially compromising its stability. For this reason, fishermen dedicate part of their time to breaking and removing ice with hammers and shovels, an exhausting but essential task. The wind and waves offer no respite either. During storms, waves crash onto the deck with such force that it's necessary to constantly secure the traps and any loose equipment to prevent them from being swept overboard. Even simple movements, such as walking from one end of the ship to the other, become a balancing act, especially when the deck is covered in icy water. Every crew member is equipped with thermal suits and safety vests designed to protect them in case they fall into the water, where hypothermia can set in within minutes. Despite these challenges, the work must go on. The daily routine aboard a fishing vessel in the Arctic is relentless. Shifts often last between 16 and 20 hours, divided into cycles that allow for only a few hours of rest in between. However, rest is relative. Inside the ship, the constant noise of engines and machinery makes sleeping a difficult task, and the cold seeps into even the most sheltered areas. For many fishermen, these extreme conditions are simply part of life, a necessary sacrifice to make the most of the short fishing season. In addition to the physical demands, fishermen face immense economic pressure. Operating a fishing vessel in the Arctic is expensive, with costs that include fuel, equipment maintenance, crew wages, and fishing licenses. Every day at sea represents a significant investment, and any setback, such as a prolonged storm or insufficient catch, can have devastating financial consequences. For this reason, careful planning and efficiency are essential for the success of each expedition. On board, constant maintenance of the ship and its equipment is also carried out. Engineers must monitor the hydraulic systems that operate the cranes and winches, as well as the generators that keep the saltwater tanks at the right temperature for the crabs. Even the smallest problems, such as a frozen valve or a worn cable, must be immediately repaired to avoid delays in operations. This level of attention to detail allows the vessels to remain operational in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Despite the risks and difficulties, fishermen return to the Bering Sea season after season. For them, king crab fishing is not just a livelihood. It is a test of skill, endurance, and teamwork. Each catch is a testament to the collective effort of the crew and the human capacity to face and overcome the most extreme challenges that nature can present. King crab fishing in the Arctic is not just a job. It is a challenge that combines skill, resilience, and teamwork in one of the planet's most extreme environments. Every pot dropped to the seafloor, every crab sorted on deck, and every maneuver performed amid ice and wind tells a story of human effort. For the fishermen, each catch represents more than economic value. It is a result of facing the cold, the waves, and constant risks with determination and courage. Despite the hardships, this industry remains essential for thousands of families and coastal communities that depend on it. Moreover, behind every king crab served in a luxury restaurant or sold in a market lies a testament to the commitment to preserving this unique species for future generations. Sustainable fishing, strict regulations, and responsible practices are a crucial part of this story, ensuring that the king crab remains a valuable resource and a symbol of human ingenuity. As the ships return to port with their holds full, what remains is a mixture of pride and exhaustion. Each season brings new challenges, but also new opportunities to prove that even in the most hostile environments, hard work and cooperation can overcome adversity. King crab fishing is not just a feat of survival. It is also a reminder of what we are capable of achieving in the face of the immensity and power of nature. If this fascinating journey into the heart of the Bering Sea has captivated you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Leave us a comment about what impressed you the most about this incredible fishery, and share this video so more people can discover the effort behind one of the world's most exquisite delicacies. Thank you for joining us on this adventure, and we'll see you in the next video.